Championships. This is the race for the third place. Exciting race we have ahead between the Kalinga Krakens and Team Rotor FPV on the 10th of October. And you would see a different kind of a look for me. I'm wearing a hat with HGLRC written on it, and that's the new sponsor that we have for the rest of the year with us. And we are very thankful to HGLRC for also sending us some exciting goodies for distributing them to our champions and winners and all the teams that are going to be on the upper side of this SAH championships. So let me just show you what we have got here. Just as a sample, we have the Zeus 5722 Mini 20 by 20 stack out here, if you can see. And also we have the Zeus 5722 30 by 30 stack. So, and a lot of other goodies as well, including LEDs and all that stuff. So thank you at GLRC once again. Today we have a fascinating new track. We have 6 players as usual, and we're going to follow our original pattern that we follow of 10 rounds, rounds 1 to 9, resulting in 3 points each, with the players all taking off at once, and the similar positions players are going to compete against each other. And the round number 10 is going to result into 8 points, with 5 points being given for the first position and 3 points being given for the second position. The track that we have, the pilots have practiced it really well. It's a little bit on the difficult side of things here, a little bit between intermediate to advanced level, and all of these are of course pro level pilots, so we expect all of these pilots to do really well on this track. It's the future hangar sort of a track. It takes place on a rocky kind of a almost like a Martian kind of a planet here, and it's very, very futuristic. So we will head straight now into the round number 1. And before that, I would like to have the pilots, let's get all ready. And if you are spectators, if you are able to tune in and have people come into our broadcast. We see people coming into Facebook and YouTube. Those who aren't aware of the broadcast right now, please do let them know that the IDRL SAH Championships for the third place between KKR and Team TRV have officially begun. So we are waiting there, and then till that time, let's get going with round number 1. And pilots, on your marks, get set and go at the count of less than 5. We'll be tuning straight into the FPV viewpoint of these pilots. Also, spectators, once again, do confirm and give us a thumbs up if you're able to receive this broadcast correctly with all the audio and the video parameters being displayed on the screen. If you are, then we are definitely good to go for this event. And let's get back to our track analysis over here. Right now, Oni FPV is in the lead. Look at that, a beautiful track that he's showing right in front of us. And the track also has kind of this covering on the top. It's almost like a rooftop, a glassy rooftop, and it's showing one of the moons on this planet. But look at the design. Everything is so nicely done in kind of these colors, which combine the futuristic with the medieval, as well as these lighted LEDs. So very, very nice to sit and watch this track. And if we now take a look at Dabata, interesting competition. The teams that are at the top right now, Hornet not contributing at the moment towards the points for KKR, but look at that, third, fourth, and fifth positions all occupied by Team TRV. So they are keeping Hornet in check, and Oni and Dabata just flying off the skews over here. Let's see from a slightly different angle before Tabata completes his point of view. And this is kind of the third person view that we get, and we can zoom into this view as well. Um, do let us know your comments on the track, viewers. Again, thank you very much. Do invite your friends and families because we did not really publicize too much for this event for this week, given all the preparations that were going on last week. So do call in your friends and family. Exciting game of racing ahead for the rest of the night. And there you go on EFPV, completing in a well amount of good time here, 1 minute and 44 seconds, 838 milliseconds. He takes the stage against, he obviously takes 1 point, and so does Dabata, and 0 points for Hornet, obviously. So that is taken by Crude at the top. So both OSS and DevWeb still to open their account, but Crude has opened his account against Hornet. So right now, as it stands, there isn't much difference, and anybody's game right till the end, because there is a huge 8 pointer on round number 10, and that can twist the game in anybody's favor. So without any delay, 2-1 is the score right now. Let's get going at the count of less than 5, round number 2 in front of you. Let's this time tune into Devi Webb. He's one of the faster pilots to take off the podium. And you can see he is right now trailing behind his fellow pilot as well. But look at that, Dev Webb cutting in the competition out there, making a few mistakes, not to his preference at the moment. He wants to stick around Dabata at least. Oni is going pretty fast out there. But let's see where the relative positions are right now. There is a little bit of terrain in the way which might block our views from the third person perspective, but we will still try to get you the best views possible. And if not possible, we will switch to the FPV view wherever it makes sense. So right now you can see we are tuned into Dabata. Oni is right here. He's doing some of the track elements. He's doing that corkscrew from the bottom to the top on the three gate structure. So it's very well divided between 1 to 3 positions right away for KKR versus 4, 5, and 6 for Team TRV. So Team TRV really needs to do some extra bandwidth out here if they need to pull the plug out of KKR right at the moment. But it doesn't look so good for them. Only competition really is between Hornet and DevWeb, I can see at the moment. So if we tune into DevWeb, as I said, DevWeb has overtaken Hornet, but Hornet again, look at that, close competition between Hornet and DevWeb. So that red trail drone is Hornet in front of DeviWeb, and we are seeing the whole track through the eyes of DeviWeb. Again, that tunnel being done nicely, back to back. A nice flow this track has, and even there is a cave for extra points, but that's something that the pilots don't have to do because that is not really part of the track, but they're free to explore that in trial sessions. And this is again sort of a dive gate out there, very low mounted dive gates going into the cylinders. And Davy Webb, the third position. Let's take a look at Hornet. He's also going through the slanted cylinders out there right now. A corkscrew from the right left out there, and then securing his position at the fourth space. But looks like Davy Webb might have something, but no. Dabata has stolen his points, and obviously Hornet has also defeated Crude. Wasn't really nice for Team TRV. They have lost all the points out here, and the scoring entirely goes in favor of Team KKR. And viewers, if you do find a mistake in some of the scoring, do let us know on the chat so that we can keep the points in score. So by mistake, if we fail updating it for any reason. But welcome viewers, once again, this is the IDRL SAH Championships after we had IDRL VIT season opener last weekend. We are back into our SAH championships, this time with KKR and TRV in the third place finals out here on the 10th of October. And let's start away with round number three, and that's starting right in front of you right now. Let's take a look at whom we can start with. Dabata right off the bat out there, and I can say that Oni is in the lead. Just looking at the picture in front of Dabata through his front of FPV view. Now, Oni is really doing well over here, and Dabata doesn't really mind because Dabata is not really competing against Oni. In fact, Dabata might just, for the time being, although he's the captain, he might be giving a wingman's hand to Oni at the moment. So Oni in the front lead, Dabata closing in, really securing his second spot out there in absolutely no rush. But the people who are in rush at the moment seem to be like Devi Webb, because they have to close in on the point gap over here, not only in terms of the gate point difference, but also in terms of the score line. So Devi Webb, look at that again, a dive gate, nicely done out there. And we are also taking a look at the similar thing. Crude FPV having some difficulty into that dive gate, but he has recovered in quick time. Hornet is probably Crude FPV's, yeah, he is Crude FPV's arch rival. So Crude will want to keep his kind of position very, very secured against Hornet, because Hornet, he is a little bit unpredictable at the moment, as I can say. He took the win at the last round, beating away Crude, and probably that's because Crude made a lot more mistakes than he has in this round. And this round, I think Crude looks a little bit much more calm and relaxed, but still, I mean, those errors shouldn't be happening. And finally, if we just go back to Tabata, he has probably completed his share of the laps at the 45 gates that require to be completed on this track. Once again, Crude and DevWeb, and look at that, DevWeb has come in, but really DevWeb needs to take out the competition with Dabata, and OSS needs to really not be at sixth position, but somewhere right behind Oni for it to really count. But as I said, right until the end, it's anybody's game. So right now, we are just looking at Hornet and Oasis to get completed over here, but we can begin scoring the points. Oni obviously has won that one. Dabata has won that one. Hornet hasn't secured his win, and so the rest of the points as 0-0 and 1 to Crude. So 7-2 point difference. There is a little bit of a burgeoning effect out here. A 5 point difference on the stream, as we can see between these pilots. Let's quickly rename something on our spreadsheet out here so it makes sense. Yep. And all right, pilots, we are ready for round number 4, and that's starting in less than 5. All the best, pilots. Here we go. Right now, looking through the eyes of Hornet. Look at those squads. A brilliant color line out there. And Hornet, and look at that. Dabata is in the last position right now. So that's really unheard for. And the close competition between Crude and Oni. Oni keeping the distance, increasing his leverage with the points. Crude coming back and fighting for his team. And at least if he tries to beat the top at Oni, he is going to secure his position for his team. And so DevWeb also needs to do the same. Somehow Dabata is not moving off the track. So that's a little disappointing for Dabata. And looks like he has crashed away with something out there. Maybe an internet connection loss. Probably it is, because your quad perhaps cannot get damaged at the first gate itself. So this time in very good positions, Crude FPV, DevWeb, and OSS, at least 2 points are sure, as I can see at the moment for TRV. That will take their score line and reduce the point difference to 4. coming in at 8 points to 4, still in favor of KKR, and they still have to do pretty well, TRV, in order to close that difference. Because look at that, the huge difference that's between Oni and the second place, that's a bit of a concern. That 20 gate difference, and Oni is just peddling it away like it's child's play at the moment. He's just in his wonderland, playing with these toys and just showing us around the speed at which he can go through this track, and the huge transparent dome on top. Really, see, look at that moon as well. It looks really gorgeous, and Oni coming back into his secured first position at the moment. We'll see where the rest of the pilots are. But pretty much as I had predicted, 2 points in favor of TRV is the maximum that they could hold on at the moment, unless Hornet really tries to pick up. Let's see where Hornet is at the moment. He's having not good of a day. His quad is rolling a bit too much, I would say, and not quite in control as a result of that. Sometimes he's not even in a good pitch condition, but he's slowly recovering. And he needs to start doing those dive gates a little bit more towards the perfectionist side. And OSS, and oh my God, and he's taken over OSS, but will that really make a difference? Not really, because OSS was really competing against Oni. So we scored it up for Oni at 1 point, and yes, it's 2 points for Team TRV. OSS doesn't score that one, but Devi Web and obviously a Crude score it up. So it's 8-4, and we reach round number 5, which will take us into the intermission after round number 5. So pilots on your podium in less than 5. Let's go ahead. Okay, hold on. Okay, we are not starting. Hold on, pilots, hold on. Do not run. Relax. Your voice is kind of, I have put it down. So yeah, do text. I got your message. Thank you. So looks like Dabata was kicked off the server out there. Dabata, you can join once again. All right, so Dabata is back and he needs to be set on flying. Again, do not disconnect, please. Yes, we are all in flying, guys. Let's go now at the count of less than 5. All the best once again is the call from the captains out here, encouraging their teammates. The weather getting a little bit darker with the dome now a little bit on the shadier side of things. The moon now shining a little bit more brilliantly as the night falls. Again, this is a kind of a dynamic weather situation, so you will also see weather changes happening in due time. But right now we are with Oni at the moment. So Oni FPV, fantastic. As he has matured as a pilot, really well done, by Oni. He has come out as a brilliant innovator, so to speak, of his own performance. Dev coming in there at position number 2 now, and then followed by Dabata. So Dabata taking a little bit of a hit, and Dabata would not be really happy because his arch rival, Dev Web, is right in front of him at the moment. And that's what is going to piss off Dabata. He's about just 4 gates away. Look at that. Dev Web is about just 4 gates in front of Dabata, and he has to close in the gap, Dabata, at any moment now. We'll see him. And if we relatively see these pilots, this is the last lap through which they have to get through if Dabata is able to cross Devi Web, and he's hot on his tail right now. Look at that. We'll try to switch to a different angle, but for now it's good enough. And Dabata securing the lead, going past Devi Web out there, leaving Devi Web in the dust out there. And Debbie Webb not at all happy with that turnaround of events, because that really scores the point against him unless some miraculous last minute speed jump really happens from Debbie Webb's side, which is not the case, ultimately losing by just a couple of gates of point difference out there. Not really a good time for Debbie Webb on this particular round. So, uh, 3 points again for KKR. All 3 points go to KKR, as you can see, and Crude also lost there. Debbie Webb lost. OS lost. So that's not really good news for Team TRV, as well as the home spectators and viewers who are cheering for them right now at VIT Vellore. This is the third place match, and right now we are in an intermission. So viewers, you can go ahead and take your break for your sodas and popcorns and teas and coffees and ice creams, whatever you want to get going, because we have about a minute and a half that we will be spending in intermission time, giving pilots their break time so that they can just loosen their fingers a little bit. That tends to often jam up and blow up in certain situations if they are really going for it too hard. And these pilots, some of them are thumbers, some of them are pinchers. So it really depends upon what kind of configuration in terms of the stress levels that they take on their fingers. But we would recap some of the rounds out here. As you can see on the screen, Awning FPB and Dabata gave a fantastic flying start for the rounds for round number 1, 2, and 3 for KKR. And the only time when Team TRV really looked good was in round number 4, and a few times in round number 1 and 3. But as of right now, they are trailing 11 is to 4. So that is the story of the halftime so far. And okay, pilots, without any further ado, the intermission is over. Let's get going at the count of less than 5. All the best once again for this draw. This is round number 6 coming up in front of you. We are tuned in to the eyes of Devi Webb FPV from Team Rotor FPV. And 2 pilots ahead of Devi Webb, his own teammate, Crude FPV. Also, Oni FPV is, as usual, in the first position. Dabata just trailing Crude and Devi right now. So what's going to be Dabata's plan, in fact, is to really get hold of his arch rival Devi Webb. He has to get ahead of Crude. But look at that. Crude and Devi Webb look to have some kind of a strategy. They are blocking the way of Dabata. So Crude is really playing the wingman. So not only is he blocking Dabata, he's also relegating Hornet, and OSS is taking care of Hornet right at the position number 4. So an intelligent strategy after halftime that these pilots have deployed. These are intelligent little tweaks and tricks that need to happen. You have to just regroup as a team and just develop a plan and strategy moving ahead, because anything can still happen. But there is a whole gap difference leaving, and Devi Webb is securing his position number 3. He's looking pretty good, not a problem for Devi Webb. All he needs to do is now stay a little bit more consistent in his flying, because Dabata, he's a person, if he goes all in, he goes all in. If he goes all out, he just rolls all out, like what we saw in the last time. He just got disconnected and he said, forget it, that's for another day. But Devi Webb, now if Devi Webb is about 9 gates away, and that's the gate difference, he got stuck out there, not a good sign. Dabata taking advantage of that, and I think we would have definitely our star players out there, Crude coming in. Again, it's 1 point versus 2 points. So Crude taking the win against Hornet, but the other players really not being able to score, and they were very, very close, as in Davy Webb was very, very close to Tabata, and so was, and Crude obviously took the win out there. So the point difference right now is 8 points. Now, as long as they maintain 8 points, they still have a chance to tie this game up. And then we get into this kind of a there is no tiebreaker in the knockout, so we'll have to devise a kind of this will be our first knockout if only if TRV is able to come back from these rounds. They have to score it up till the next 3 rounds and then go for the big win that's going to come in at round number 10. So I see a bit more spectators now joining us on YouTube. Welcome everyone roundabout once again. We are welcoming you because I think we gave a little bit of a surprise today. You weren't probably expecting a match, but this is a third place match and between KKR and TRV. So let's go, guys, at the count of less than 5 and round number 7 coming to you. All the best, pilots. This time, let's watch it through and through the eyes of Oni. Look at that. No pilot in front of Oni. All he has is a clear view of the track. And that's something that each pilot actually desires when he gets off the podium. He really does not want to get distracted by the sounds or the sights of any other drone that are in front of him. And that's exactly why Oni is such a remarkable player, because he gets off the ground so quickly and stays there consistently and is able to then really put the pedal out there and capitalize on every possible gate. And that just keeps increasing his lead. So right now, the job of Davy Webb, who is at position number 4, is to really go behind all out to Dabata. He really needs to catch on to Dabata right now, because if he doesn't, then things will start going a little bit too crazy. But he's playing it on level. They are not too wide away as well. They are about just 8 gates away. Look at that. We'll try to cover some other view out here. That's another third person view, and switch back to our normal view right there again. So Davy Webb, so yeah, Davy Webb getting very, very close out there. His last lap is not too far away from Depata. Look at that. He's coming in fine and close. He's coming in on the hot tail of Depata. If we can spot Depata in front of him, then looks like Davy Webb still has a very, very fine chance of securing his team's position at the top. This is going to be very exciting right till the tail end. Look at that, just a mere 5 gates of difference between, now 3 gates and 2 gates of point difference between these two pilots. Look at that. We are now beginning to see the tail of Dabata. Oh my God, and little bit of a mistake there by Davy Webb. Dabata truly capitalizing on that mistake and heading home for the win out there. Davy Webb left in complete mud and puddle out there in the third spot. Not something that he expected. Very, very disappointing for Davy Webb. But Davy Webb gave his best shot. I knew that he was going to come around, but he did not accelerate at the right moment. In the right shape of events, and that's what costed him against Dabata. Dabata really taking home and driving it all away to the despair of team TRV. And Oni FPV, Dabata, they secure their positions out here, and so does Hornet. So it's a triple win out here for the guys from KKR. Very, very interesting. And this takes the win to 11 points. And now the only hope that remains is that in round number 8 and 9, these 2 rounds are remaining before the eventual 8-pointer round number 10 comes in. To have any sort of a chance, Team TRV needs to score 3 points of difference closing in to Team KKR. So let's see if that happens at the count of less than 5. All the best once again is the call. Interesting as we get into the final tail end of this racing competition between the third place finalists out here. eagerly awaiting to watch the results of this fabulous competition on this wonderful track in the future, bay on somewhat on Venus or Mars or somewhere on the Saturn planet, because this looks very, very futuristic. You can even see one of the moons, and there may be quite a bit of a few moons as well. Look at that gorgeous big moon out there, right in front of the dome, and another moon I spotted. So there are at least a couple of moons out there. So this is definitely not Mars. This is some other planet for sure. So, but right now the competition between Dabata and Devi Webb. Dabata and Devi Webb. Look at that, so very close. And Dabata making an error at this point, giving complete lead to Devi Webb. Can Devi Webb make the position count for him? Dabata holding strong and Dabata recovering, but Devi Webb right in front of him, giving one-on-one challenge. Look at that, leaving Dabata in complete dust of mind out here. And Devi Webb coming in, closing in on the final hurdle out here. Can he do it? Can he reach the final position in gate number? And unless he gives away the lead to, and Dabata once again in position number 2. What a strange thing is happening out here. Let's quickly try to spot these pilots. Devi Webb now a whole 9 gates away. He was in a dominating position. Had lap number 2 gone his way right till the end and the start of lap number 3 accelerated, he would have had in his pockets right now the win, the crucial win that Team TRV really wanted. But look at that, Devi Webb scores a good amount of distance away, and this time doesn't look very good for Devi Webb. He will be again kicking himself in the butt, as we usually say on the IDRL broadcast. And if he wants to kick himself on the head as well, this is the time that he must do it, because the next round at least he needs to be all attentive. And let's see, Hornet is in the end position out here, position number 1, 2, and 0. So either a triple win or double ones and 1 have been the main storyline. So it's already a 12-point difference. So it looks really hard right now. Yeah, it looks really hard for these Team TRV. In fact, we can certainly for sure say that KKR in fact has taken the 3rd position. But just for the hell of the things, we have to get through round number 9 now. And let's get going, boys, at the count of less than 5. A very, very supreme performance in a group shown by Team KKR out here. I was about to say KRV, mixing the two things together, but it's KKR and TRV. And this time, at least for the sake of his own confidence, I think Devi Webb will be a little bit more relaxed. And I think his nerves sometimes get the best of him. But this time, slowly, I think what he's trying to do is get a handle on himself in terms of his confidence, getting his relay and the drone that's going on. Look at that. Again, giving and opening up that position for Dabata to come in from the right angle, as you saw that red trail quad coming in from the right and recovering him. But Dabata, once again, Dabata is a champion who doesn't give up right till the end. We saw that behavior for Dabata, but look at that. This time Dabata was a little bit stuck. It looked like decreasing his momentum on this surface. And Devi Webb, looks like Devi Webb and Crude FPV is totally respecting his captain at the moment, giving whatever a fine performance he can to hold on Hornet in the end, and obviously allowing Devi Webb the full motivation to go behind Dabata. These two pilots again are not too far away. We will have to see Crude FPV coming in and saying to his captain, now captain, let me give it a shot and let's see if I can get a hold of Dabata out here. And that seems to be the team strategy at the moment. Sometimes Devi FPV behind Dabata and at other times Crude FPV. But this time Crude FPV making that mistake, a little bit of an urgency shown. Devi Webb again making a mistake. So lots of mistakes out here. and Dabata is almost like he is laughing his way away to the start gate right now, seeing the errors happen behind him. Not really a good day again for these pilots of TRV. And that's again 2 points in the favor of KKR. Hornet obviously having some kind of stuck up situation out there. He's really looks like he needs a bag of some desperate pills or some Red Bulls. So wake up, Hornet. He's really sleeping out there at position number 6. Uh, and okay, so it's 20 is to 7, and the total point difference is 13. The last round coming in, and only 8 points of difference. But if TRV takes in those 8 points, then it would be such a booster for them, nevertheless. And we want to see them through in their finest confidence form, so that we can see them in a variety of action formats in the next SAH season coming up very soon. So let's go pilot for the final round at round number 10 in less than 5. This time, let's cruise along with Dabata as we go with the victory call of team Kalinga Krakens. Leading from the front in the second position is the team captain Dabata. And he has, what a charmer of a captain he has been. He has shown all the confidence that his teammates need, and also actually nurtured quite a bit of his pilots from the state, from the state of Odisha. So he's done very, very well, and really all admirations from IDRL to Captain Dabata out there. Captain Dabata doing pretty well once again, already landing up in lap number 2. Devi Webb this time wants to get a crack at the last and the final 2 laps coming in. If he can get a booster against Dabata out here, that'll make his night. For sure, because he was angry when Dabata took in that close position win that really upsetted and turned around the whole turn of events on the part of the other pilots. And look at that, who has come in. And as soon as I called out to Hornet, Hornet has really woken up, and he's now in third position. So looks like he's also quite there with a complete amount of vitality in him. Dev Webb and Hornet virtually at the same positions out there. But Dev Webb lacking a little bit of a skill there to maneuver a little bit faster. The final gates coming in. Look at that. Oni FPV taking in the 5 points for KKR. And the remaining positions will not really matter if Dabata gets through into the second position, and will definitely looks like, oh, unless he's making a big mistakes, looks like he's just too much in that victory set of mind. But congratulations, Captain. You have taken that win with your wingman awning. Congratulations, pilots. There you go. 8 points in favor of KKR. And closing out on the final round here is at the score of total points given 35. That's 9 times 3 plus 8. That's 35. Split across KKR and TRV as 28 and 7. So a good margin by which KKR will get into the next SAH series coming up in due time, possibly the early part of November now. And we will be somewhat taking a couple of weeks of break between season 2 and season 3 of SAH. So very well done, the third place winners. Congratulations, a big round of applause for team KKR, Kalinga Krakens. Congratulations, boys. Captain Dabata, congratulations to you as well. Oni FPV, very well done out there once again. Before we really depart and say bye-bye to these pilots, because we won't be seeing them again, let's have a quick interview with these pilots once again. I would like to call on the 2 captains right now, and if they are available. and let's see if they can get them on the round over here. And do let us know, viewers, again, as we do in a traditional style. I hold the laptop near the microphone so that we can hear the captains. And here it is. Team TRV, Devi Webb, welcome to the commentary panel. How are you today? Devi Webb, how are you doing today? Are you there?
Dave.
Is he muted or what? Okay, so okay, he's right there. Devi Webb, can you hear me? Looks like he's having some issues out there. Never mind, we can call some other player. Crude, do you want to come in and on part of your captain? All right, so welcome, Crude. Thank you so much for coming in and giving your fine thoughts. First of all, congratulations, a great show put on by you boys, and it was a tough track and a tough set of players that you were competing against, for sure.
Yeah, obviously.
So what were the challenges that you faced early? Who was some of like the pilots who were totally unbeatable? Like, did you guys have a plan or a strategy to somehow work yourselves in a group? What was the strategy?
Actually, yeah. The main thing was like to focus on Hornet Rajneesh Vyah. Crude had many of the chances, but he didn't inculcate as much as he wanted. But I also like my competition was Devata Vyah, so he was also unbeatable, of course. But at some point of time, I thought to just overtake him. I overtook him sometimes, but I usually crash. So I got inconsistent at times because of like his flying is really very quick, and Oni has some other attributes as well. So that was the condition.
Wow. And was this, how was this track actually? What were the most difficult elements that you really faced out here?
Yeah, so the one green element which Devata was talking about, really it was like we have to just overloop it and then come again, like a loop, getting in a loop and then going straight path. So that was the most difficult element I faced through. And those pipes, actually flying in open space, but then also implementing it at certain level, it has become like it was much tougher for me to just implement it at that position.
Right. So, but in the end, were you happy with your own performance, or you think you would have done a little bit better?
Yeah, yeah, actually, yeah. The thing is, in race itself, you would have already seen TRV again racing this time also. But the main thing was in races we get a lot of inconsistency. I don't know how, but it it gets through it. But then too, we had.
All right, I see. Never mind. But season three of SAH is coming up pretty shortly now. A couple of gaps starting November, and you should be then having a lot of better practice and better hold on your quad. What are your expectations from season three of SAH?
Yeah. So we are eventually having around 12 to 14 pilots currently. So they are on currently DRL. Okay. So the main thing is we would be having our own DRL races also, so
Okay.
that they can also compete, and we would be having more backup pilots as well, because Karan sir, you would know this thing, like VIT doesn't give us a chance to uh, have a time to invest in these things. But the major fact is we try to put in hard efforts, and we'll try to get at that point of time, like we'll try to get at that level also. But
Okay.
the major thing is all about examinations,
Right.
as you know, like uh,
Yeah, we'll try to navigate around it. But these 12 pilots that you
Actually,
mentioned, let
yeah,
me just
actually,
interrupt you. That these 12 pilots, would they be ever shifting to Velocidrone from
yeah,
DRL?
yeah. Actually, surely they'll be shifting to velocity drone in coming months. But like they are still practicing, so we would be having race among us. So that would be a competition that we are looking for currently.
Okay.
And just a suggestion, Karan sir, like uh, just change that particular rule of examination. If we would be having such examination at that point of time, we won't be able to race. So that is also the major point.
Yeah,
Just
that's
had
that's right. But what happens is that we cannot also keep a 2 week of absence. That
yeah,
is
yeah.
going to, so we'll have to sort of get together and solve something. So you must have already got a schedule for the coming months. So if you
Yeah,
can actually just email that to me, that would be
yeah.
great. So we can plan such way around it. So that initially from the group stage only we can plan it that way.
Yeah, 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 Karan. That's what.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Crude, and thank you so much, OSS as well, and Debbie Webb. Thank you so much as well. Now, I would like to bring along the winning captain, the third place finishers, Team Kalinga Krakens, Captain Dabata. He's welcomed all the way. A lot of spectators in the ground welcoming Dabata out here. Welcome, Dabata. How are you?
Thank you, Karan. I feel great. uh, so yeah, yeah. I feel really loud. I can hear my bots in the background just like typing away.
Oh yeah, the Tabata bots are there, and your so how do you feel about your team's performance? Your boys, how did they do well?
I feel wonderful. I like first like I would really want to like appreciate TRV for all the effort and practice they put in, and like it shows that they have worked a lot on this. Meanwhile, like the only reason I could practice because Oni reminds me at like 7, like we have to upload time. Like oh shoot, so so not like much work for me, but like TRV has put in a lot and lot of effort. So like huge
Yeah,
round of applause for that. And like great stats also applied. I see that they're learning from us. Good one. So like yeah, that stat will make you win if you have like opponents like this. That stat really offers you that middle tier competition
yeah,
really affords you a position,
yeah.
and like that's a great way of taking. Actually, we discovered this in our first game ever against Bombay Brigadiers. Like we didn't know what happened, and now we realize like it can be something that you can really push. You can have a strategic advantage in this game. So yeah, after like appreciating TRV, I'm super happy about this team. I'm really happy, and it's not just like star performers like Oni or let's say Rajneesh or Deepu or Anurag or what we have, but this is actually proof of what can happen when you cultivate an environment as you might know, Karan, like we get like groups of people sometimes in IDRL, but I wanted like a proper community over here, and it has worked. Like this is live proof of
Yeah,
inculcating like community, and then all of them wanting to race or like open source community where you share, where you
yeah.
train, where you like, do everything. So like from parts to knowledge to everything once done, you can get better like pilots. And like I'm pretty sure like next season if the way Oni trains, he can like easily reach podium, like maybe first place or second place. And I know Devnath and Aman are good, but like this is proof. Like if you
Yeah.
put in a lot of effort, if you have talent, and then you can do it. And I'm really happy this turned out well. So I'm super proud of my team. I'm glad I met new pilots like this, pilots that can help me fly better. So yeah,
So
and
just
we are
for the sake of our audience to understand, how did you discover such a lot of talent? Like what exactly? How did you find Oni? How did you find Hornet? In fact, even Schreider and Eagle Eye, not to mention, they participated in the first match, if I remember. Like these pilots are also there. So how did you go through the whole discovery process and, in fact, like spot the talent as well? Like sort of those kinds of things.
So I went along actually a path that is opposite to ZDR. I behaved more like Hufflepuff from Hogwarts. I was like, I'll take everything in. I don't care. And I want to train on that. The way I discovered Oni, I mean, anyone in idea is not going to believe it. So he came, like, Odisha drone community had been established, and people were just throwing my name around. Like there's this dude who is like helping people randomly and getting something. So Oni had come up with this 250 quad with an R2 pilot on it, like those, you remember, right? Like the GPS and all that. So
Yeah.
he stuffed it in a 250 quad, and me and Hornet look at this quad and go like, "What the hell?" But what we do is what are essential things. We will help you with everything. We'll help you with parts. We'll help you with everything. Like, and the major problem is originally getting hold of that. Parts at the proper cost or something like that. So what we tell people is like, here is a radio, here is a simulator. If you can fly, like after giving 30 or 40 hours after this, then you're in. And Oni surprised me a lot. He went for his competition wherever that drone was required, and he had actually put in effort for simulator, and he was flying pretty well. Like it was only a month or something, and he was flying extremely not as good as now, obviously, but he flew well, and that was great. Hornet was the same thing. He turned up at my house one time, and I was like, he didn't obviously have a transmitter, so I told him, here, go fly on sim, and he also flew well. Like natural lack of knack of things was there.
Yeah.
So we let them fly, and that's the thing, keeping it open and keeping it like a community-based thing. And like I said, like Devnath said, they are very selective on what they do. I was more of an idea of taking everyone, like give everyone a chance, do everything. Let's see what sticks. Like I'm willing to put in the effort if you are. So and people who put in the effort are here, and they fly obviously only is best case scenario, but if you see growth rate and everything, there are people who have grown more from where the baseline was. Like Oni had a field to start in, like let's say he had a quad or something. There are people who didn't have a quad and they are here. So like Hornet would be an example there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the strategy. The strategy is basically like have a community, keep everything open, and if someone needs help, like help them out. Like don't spoon feed them. Like see what passion they have, and then people turn up, and that's literally the strategy. Like a super broad search.
Yeah, so that's a good strategy. In fact, some few pointers for Devnath to pick up that on. And Devnath will be listening in very closely. Not to build a guarded sort of a community, open source. And then, you think, Davata, that Oni is, of course, really well prepared for the real world as well?
So we have some doubts. Like I'll be frank here, because Ritvik is not slower than me on simulator. So we have a data point there which kind of throws everything off for us. We are a very strategic team. Like you have seen by now, we calculate everything. Like we know how many hours of practice needs to go into Oni or me or Hornet by the hour to come close to things. In fact, they proved it again and again. And like I said, that one round where I beat Devna, that's the only time I had actually practiced the given 11 hours that is allocated for me. Only, mind it or not, is actually has to practice 20 hours, and Rajneesh has to practice 30. Like we have it to the last like variable. So based on that, like I am 85% sure like Oni can do well. And the thing is, unlike me when I first came, if you remember me, with 2 lipos, 1 quad, one camera on the VJTI, like my first race, Oni, Hornet, D2, and all these people will be entering with like say there are 5 quads, and there is 3 backups and enough cams and lipos to feed us for days. So he will have all the advantages possible. Like he won't be entering in the beginner field at all. He's going to be flying with gear that we have with backups, because we are backup of each other as well. So I'm 85% sure. It's just that Ritvik as a data point is very scary. He loses to me on sim, which is not possible in real life, right?
Yeah.
So that's the only data point. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure like Rajneesh and me are trying to really tune his squad or what he comes out with. And if he does, then yeah, then we are pretty sure like he'll be able to do it. We calculate everything, whatever is possible, and I'm like 85% sure he should be able to do it, unless there's a wrench like somewhere that we missed or something or the other.
All right. So Devnath just comes in with a comment saying, too much talking, please move on to TRV. Well,
See that. See.
well, Devnath, sorry, but
Thank
I
you.
think you joined late and we are already done with TRV. So that's about it from these two captains. Thank you once again, Devi Webb, Crude coming in for talking to us as well, and Dabata out there. So that's sort of the end of the story here tonight. The third place finishers, the Kings of the Kalinga Krakens versus Team TRV. Team TRV doing an excellent job and putting on a great show and a fight. And they will be coming back stronger and harder in SAH season number 3 that's beginning in November. So do watch out for that and our announcements, because that will be bigger, better, and mightier, as I can say. And finally, after the third place, obviously, is the finals. Let me just give you a quick dateline of when to meet us for the finals out here. Our race schedule says that it is scheduled for the next weekend. We aren't wasting too much time. 17th October is the magical day where we are going to witness the two teams that are supposed to really blow out the competition and the spectators in the biggest of events out here that we have for the grand finale. ZDR versus HHR, that is the Zine Drone Racing, led by our captain Devnath, and the Hyderabad, the Hellraisers, led by Captain Shady. Both these are going to go head and head, and we are going to put out big posters for that grand finale. Do social media us and subscribe to all our social media channels. We are IDRL Racing on Instagram. Just search for IDRL on YouTube. If you would like to join in to the IDRL community, go to droneracingindia.com or download the IDRL app, both from Google Play and Apple App Store, as well as finally, once again, thanks to our newest sponsor, who today spent a lot of goodies, sent a lot of goodies. That's HGLRC, a nice little cap out there as well, coming in from our friends at HGLRC, and just a few packs for those folks who joined in late. Lots of goodies and plus more. We have Zeus out here, Zeus F722 30 by 30 and F722 Mini 20 by 20, all for grabs, along with lots of other stuff that's hidden in the background, given away to the teams of SAH. So such goodies are going to come along for throughout this SAH series, and we are going to make it bigger and bigger with every season. So do support us, pirates. Do subscribe, especially to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Instagram, and join the IDRL community. Download the IDRL app. We'll be seeing you out there. But for tonight, it's all out here, and the lights are off from our studios in Mumbai. It is all out for the night, and we wish you all the very best. Good luck, goodbye, and sweet dreams, and alvida.